we should be live. Is it even possible? I should be hearing a slight echo coming through. Is it even possible? There we go. We have our lovely echo. And I'll probably need to try and do my absolute best to sort out the chat and what not. We'll keep our dashboard nice and open there so I can see all the lovely people who decide to pop along. Follow all that lovely stuff that I am eternally grateful for. And we can just wait and see. Oh wow, everyone's incredibly quick in. Hello, Agent 17's wife, Grandma Wolf, hi. Hello, Tiny Pickle even, welcome, how are we? Great to see you in. And Agent 17, where have I been? I took the day off, guys. I was just, wasn't feeling up to it, not been doing anything. Gotta load these resource packs because they're the key to making everything look good. Which actually, now that I think about it, everyone turn away from stream, because as far as I know, I might actually just spawn in the main section, and I don't want everything to be shown right off the bat. I don't think I will. I think we'll be fine. Loading resource packs. So how did we all enjoy the talk today? I thought it was absolutely fantastic. Oh dear. Oh no. This is where we have started, right in the midst of the action. I've got to run around in a big circle now just to get away from it all. I do hope my phone is keeping up. And also, I do hope the newcomers, the people who have yet to see the Minecraft server, are popping along too. There is many things to see, I promise you. Many, 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 many things. Hello, hello, is this thing on? I think I'm trying to communicate to the chat, but it's unfortunately going quite slow. Yellow there. Oh Jesus. Oh god. Sometimes I think I should change that, but nah. How are we, chat? Come on, well, let's see some comments there. If we can just stop hosting me, that'd be fantastic. Oh, might be the very first thing you see on this server is this lovely scenic route. Well done, Sushi. That's probably the greatest soundbite I ever created. I'm so grateful that you've decided to use it today. Can we have a spam of donkey in the chat? You have my express permission. Donkey. Oh Jesus Christ. That one was particularly loud, and there was a slight gap. It was like donkey. 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 Yep, use it while it is free. The donkey donkey. the donkey sound clip will not be free forever, people. Ah. Isn't Philakar lovely? So nice this time of year. Donkey. You're all gonna break my bot now. Congratulations, hope you're happy with yourselves. Donkey. Okay, that is quite enough donkey spamming. I am suitable I think what you've done is suitable. I quite appreciate it. I think we can simmer down just for a wee tad. I did ask for it. I understand this. Oh no, everywhere I look there are spoilers. Okay, we have Grimavulfin. Do we have the other two newcomers? That's the thing, considering the amount of time that random stoner guy's profile has been on, even if he's not been watching, it's surprising that he's never seen the Minecraft. Because I would be really upset if I were to start the tour and the people we are doing the tours for are not even here. We have Grimavulfin. Is he going to end up getting his own private tour? Is that it? We're just going to have to stare at the ground while we make our way over there. To the starting location. I really should set that up. I suppose technically I could transport myself there, but I'd have to learn all the coordinates. Nope. You've all got to turn away. There's no looking. You see nothing right now. This is nothing. Nothing at all. Oh, unfortunately, or actually rather fortunately for yourself, Grimavulf, it looks like you're going to get your own private tour. Lucky you. There have been quite a few tours in my time, but one of this build-up was such a hype coming into it. Just for yourself. Freezing Flames 1. I have not seen you in quite a while, my friend. How are we? The perfect place to start the tour for you, Grimavulf. This is the world map. As you can see, it is rather incomplete. Unfortunately, it takes quite a while to go and collect all these individual maps, but I'm sure I can give you a quick idea of what we're about to look at. Yes, get that popcorn sushi. We're in for the long haul. This is not going to be just a quick tour. This is going to be a comprehensive overview. I shall even be giving lore. You heard it here. We are getting lore. Okay, my dear Grimavulf. We are currently here behind the half mountain. If you're wondering why it's a half mountain, it's because I couldn't be bothered building the back of it. To give you a little bit of insight as to why I couldn't be bothered building the back of it, this world is the child of 3 years of work. Basically, I started this world on Xbox 360 edition of Minecraft, and I've been playing it ever since. Now, because it was Xbox 360 edition of Minecraft, I did not have access to mods or cheats or etc, meaning every last single block that you see was placed by me by hand. So, yep. That is a little insight into what's happening. So, what I'll do is I'll just give a quick overview of everything, and then we shall start our carousing, our browsing, our little overview. We are behind the half mountain. If we come to our north, you can see the Great Lake here. Upon the Great Lake is the town of Halsburg. Now, Halsburg is one of the oldest towns within the grasslands. It has a lovely little port here, which I will show you in just a tad, and a lovely castle that strides a little hill on the side there. Now, basically the origin story for Halsburg is that a very long time ago, an order of monastic knights came down from the north. The north is very cold, you see, and they love a good tan. Yeah, they came down from the north and settled in these lands. These lands were mostly inhabited by tribes at this point. And, you know, they stood there, killing the heathens, as they would, until one day a tribe leader would defeat the Ashen Knights, earning their respect. And upon that ancient Ashen Knight temple's grounds was built the current town of Halsburg as you see it today. So, you may have noticed this, there's a rather large city sort of to the side here. This is Brondholm. Now Brondholm is the prize and crown jewel of the server. This large city was actually born from Halsburg out of a rebellion from unhappy citizens, but is since grown and far expanded its town of origin. If we come to the south, the city of Brondholm expands with its subsidiary towns of Inchley, Hadenborough, and up here there is Talmer. We will be visiting all of this. Of course, just in front of us there's these lovely fields that belong to Faradale and Laura Lewin, who are subsidiary towns of Halsburg. And then if you're wondering what this little blip here is, this is Talan. Don't worry, we'll get to all of this. There is a large city in the south that is yet to be built. You'll notice all these outlines are actually outlines for buildings. You can see what portion of them has been built, but this is Hjalitz. Hjalitz is a port town, so basically south of here is going to be a massive ocean, which is yet to be built. So Hjalitz is right on the coast, loads of trade, quite a warmer climate than you would see further north. I'm loving that quote 5 there. Yeah, so it's a warmer climate, and you'll notice this in the architecture. And also being in quite a trade position, there's many different cultures that sort of culminate in Hjalitz. So it's certainly an interesting place to visit. But quite honestly, I think it's much better if I were to show you rather than grueling over this map for as long as possible. So let's continue this way. We're going to have a wee look at some of the subsidiary towns before we get into the real juicy stuff. We're going to look at Oldergard. Now Oldergard is also on the Great Lake, and it's quite a cultural hotspot. Just to notice, every town within this server I've tried to give a unique style. And this particular one was actually inspired by a town in Oblivion, the Elder Scrolls Oblivion, called Shadenhall. You may notice a resemblance in that building, but it wasn't the best copy there. You can see they kind of have this almost communal sort of residence in the centre here. This will be quite a large building project, as such it is pretty much just a skeleton at the moment, as with a lot of things. They do have a great lighthouse that warns them of raiders from the sea, and of course these people love their entertainment, so they have a large arena here where they can watch people fight to the death in hand-to-hand combat. I know, so many seats for such a small area, but what can I say? These people are very strange. Now, if we continue on, you may have just heard, said the lighthouse is to warn the people of Oldergard of raiders. Now, you're probably wondering, whereabouts on the Great Lake do these raiders come from? Well, actually, it's not on the Great Lake, more in the Great Lake. Yes, these raiders live on a strange little island called Drakehurst, which I will show you in just a tad when we eventually arrive at it. Unfortunately, I can only move so fast. Yeah, so this is the little island fortress of Drakehurst where the raiders live and prosper. Certainly with the design, I really like the texturing to this. Thank you, Grimmerwolf, for the donkey. I do appreciate. We can see all the little details. It's not the biggest island, but they get by. They have a large sway of influence for such a small little area. Oh dear. So, where we will be going now is we are going to be going to slightly different lands. So, Oldergard is part of a collective lands called the Grasslands, home to a particular people. So, we're going to be going to Arthvalen. Now, Arthvalen is within the Runic lands. Now, the Runic people are certainly civilized, however, they're very imperialist. So, you do not want to be these people's neighbour. Arthvalen is a little town that's centred in the marshes, just adjacent to the lake. So as you can tell, we sort of have this interesting townhouse design that's built upon small islands surrounded by marsh and water. I don't know if they're still here, but there are many squids, often named Squid. Pay no attention to this, or Squad. These are relics of a much gone time. Squidly is in fact a unique name, so we all love Squidly. Yes, but I do like the designs, sort of like the small weird bridges that we'll get. These interesting tower designs that pop out of nowhere. I try and make things a bit modular, so they're not all just squares like this. Some have little peeping alcoves and interesting towers on top. You like Squidly? I love Squidly. Squidly's a fine squid. So continuing on, we're going to go to the furthest outpost of the Runic lands, which is Pit Hill. Now, Pit Hill is less of a hill and more of a floating monstrosity at the moment, but I assure you, one day it shall be a hill. And this is a large fortress upon the hill where many of the soldiers of the Runic people are stationed. At the top lays the barracks, the blacksmith, and the training grounds. In the centre ring there shall be many amenities and trade options, and at the bottom ring shall be the peasants, the filthy peasants. But yeah, I mean, it's all similar design choices. I thought it'd be interesting to sort of have this barracks with all its outer casing walls and weird training yards, and a very strangely built tower, which you can get to the top of, by the way. In case you're wondering why I'm not going in many buildings, it's because I am more of an exterior designer. I prefer to build the outside of buildings. As far as I care, the insides do not matter, so there are very few buildings in this world that actually have interiors. But, continuing on. Oh, squid is your favourite. Interesting. Very interesting. Oh, there is much distance to cover in this world, and if you're wanting to pick up all that juice, you're going to have to stick around for all of it. But we're going to head back across the lake here, and I'm going to show you a lovely little town on the edge of the lake called Haaland. Now, Haaland is very memorable for a particular reason, and that particular reason is what Haaland produces. To give you a little clue, they are on a lake. The lake is a saltwater lake. I don't know if you know where I'm going with this. And boy, does it take a long time to traverse this lake. Oh my. But yes, Haaland, it produces salt. And as you can see, as we come close to Haaland here, they have these lovely salt refineries on the coast here. It's actually home to a very unique statue. You can tell me if this is a good resemblance. It's meant to be a mermaid. Close enough, eh? Close enough. But continuing on, you can see it has a sort of a mixed style. You have the odd sort of tenement building here, and these interesting small hut designs and weird sort of joined-on buildings, and then it sort of moves over. Thank you, Agent 17's wife, for that. Into a more Tudor-like style with this black and white sort of deal going on here. This is actually an inn. It's not got an interior, but this is probably one of the few buildings I would want an interior to. since it's the hub for Holland. And there will be ships as well, because obviously they need to export their salt across the globe. And also a few more interesting designs with this red nether brick here that I think is pretty cool. And also another house, which is you will notice some houses across the map are actually well decorated. There's a very particular reason why. It's mainly because while my girlfriend is not a particular fan of Minecraft, every now and then I will design a building that she decides is fine for living, and so I must decorate and make sure that it is the perfect holiday home. And yes, there are strange beds in strange places. Do not pay attention to those. Continuing on. A good old donkey for the mermaid. Thank you very much. It's quite difficult coming up with unique designs, but that one I'm particularly proud of. It's a very good statue. We are going to travel to the town, well, the city essentially, of Extraordinaire. Now this is one of the larger cities in the north, with this lovely sort of fortified manor upon this hill. And although it may not look it, it will be quite snowy up here. This is quite northern, but Extraordinaire is home to a lot of very nice, we should say upper class residents. It's a very old city indeed, but this is certainly a fun place to build. You can see all these different architecture styles. I even get away with some more colourful ones with the blue colours here. But Extraordinaire is known for its winding streets, and I'll take you through some of them now. These buildings do look nice, I promise you, if only you could see them from a distance. Winding round here, the corner building. And of course the building that I didn't get finished from the last stream. What can you do? Still at 2 average viewers. Sushi, we have to change this. It is just simply not acceptable. There we are. So Extraordinaire is quite an old city, not particularly lush, but certainly incredibly well developed with its soon-to-be avenues. These people are certainly gifted with the tongue. They are great negotiators. I would not try to haggle if I was visiting Extraordinaire. But hey, travelling on, we shall visit the hermits of Thornfield. Now, the people of Thornfield originate from quite a while ago, but ever since a great falling out with presumably an elder tribesman, they have forever lived in the snowy fields below the well, what is a mountain ridge known as the Knives. The reason the mountain ridge is called the Knives is because of how sharp its peaks are. So you can see they kind of live in these communal hovels, which actually, if I take you inside one of them, is incredibly cozy. I'm not even going to lie, this is one of my more favourite unique designs. Just, come on. Just sit and watch the fire. Although I will say it's not incredibly realistic, considering there is no ventilation, so they're probably all going to suffocate in here. But other than that, absolutely lovely. But continuing on, we shall traverse what should be the Knives. However, unfortunately, they are not currently built. You'll see what I mean by the Knives here, as this outline curves into the sky to a sharp peak before coming down. We are about to visit Varamar. Varamar is a lovely old town in the sky on the floating lake. Of course, it's not actually called the floating lake because it's on a mountain. It just so happens it's floating in my world. But if we take a quick peek down into the lake, since you were so kind to our previous squids, We shall say hello to Lady Squidette of Squidchester. And of course her loyal husband, Squidington. So Varamar is also an old town with these large townhouses that stretch back into the valley. The people of Varamar are great scholars. Thank you so much, Agent 17, for the donkey. And you too, Grimoire Wolf. So, of course, Varamar has interesting, unique designs. Like I said, I do my best to keep every town looking somewhat unique. But until more is built, this slumbering town at the top of the peak shall forever remain at rest. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a wee hop and a skip down to Tolmer. Now Tolmer is actually just on the edge of a large mountain range, one of the largest in the grasslands. And this is actually a subsidiary town of the largest city, Brontholm. Hopefully you're intrigued by unfortunately, I was going to say the fact that it lies upon a mountain is quite difficult because, like I said, I have to place every block by hand, and doing mountain ranges is quite difficult when that is the case. So perhaps one day Tolmer can stretch back into the mountains. But once again, we have these lovely house designs that are quite roof heavy, and even quite a fortified gate as well. Quite like this design. Makes it seem old and ancient. Which in a sense is true. Tolmer was not always controlled and a subsidiary of Brontholm, but was in fact conquered. But that was many times ago, many years ago. And this sort of design I really do like. It's got a very rustic feel to it. But as you can see, this will stretch up into the mountains. And quite an interesting design for the almost like the town hall of Tolmer. Follows my usual rules for basically just a basic modular design at the back with a interesting tower on it. So moving on, if we follow the outline for the river that should be continuing where this blue line is, we're going to head to Camille. Now Camille is pretty much the breadbasket of the grasslands in many ways. It's kind of a tie between Camille and Maasai. Camille's personally my favourite because it produces a ton of wine. It is also perched upon a sloping hillside and has some well, this is my second time on the tour, still just as amazing. Well, thank you very much. Hopefully I'll go over things I haven't gone over before, give you a bit more insight into certain things. We shall see. And here we come to Camille, so you can start to see that the they have many crops awaiting. And as this slopes up into the main mountain range, we have the lovely church here as we come into the main town of Camille. The town is not quite there, but it shall be at some point. I do promise, I do intend on building more at some point. It just takes a hell of a long time. But if you're wondering where I get the designs, some of these designs are based on real-life buildings. This one in particular was based on a church in the city of Oulu in northern Finland. I don't know how to pronounce it properly, so you're just going to have to look that up. You had not seen the squids or the mermaid. Well, that's changing this tour. So as we continue along the river past Camille, we're actually going to be heading for Hjalits, the main city in the south. So some lovely architecture coming up. Hopefully this is quite impressive. But frankly there'll be much more to come, considering Hjalits is maybe about half the size of Brontholm, and trust me, Brontholm is going to be quite the feat if it ever reaches its city limits. So obviously, being a river, this should take us to the sea. And it does, and you can start to see these building outlines to my left. So as we wander closer on the hill, we have the lovely main church of Hjalix. One of the few churches I did actually use stained glass for. You'll notice that most of my windows are fenced. That's mostly a stylistic choice. But I do indeed like this design. This is once again based upon a real church, but the roof in particular doesn't look the same. If anything, I kind of like my roof better. You can get a quick look at that, and then we shall pop over to the Parliament building. Now, the Parliament building has a lovely modular design, especially on the front. And I'll take you down to see. But the Parliament building has a really good design where it's sort of its 4 corner towers with a lovely courtyards in the middle, and the centre tower where the Parliament will convene. There's also many sort of block flats, essentially, or the medieval standard thereof, if you will. But taking you further into the city, you'll notice that there's many flat roofed designs, because it is a much warmer climate down here. And I really do like the aesthetic you get from these buildings. Just going to wander the streets, and perhaps go down the main street that will eventually lead on to the market, which shall be up there. There's still a lot of unique buildings that I still have to build in Hjalix, but until now there's certainly some interesting designs to gaze at. I do have a particular way I design buildings, and it's all very modular, so it's nothing that you can't learn with a bit of practice, but it certainly does take time, and just a tad of imagination if you want to come up with something really unique. But very quickly moving on, we're going to head to the town of Sam. Now, Sam is a fishing village and market town. It is also on the ocean, and is just down this way. Now, we've actually done a few more buildings down here, but Sam is obviously a very posh town, especially for a town that deals in whale and fish oil. But you can kind of see the outlines, the interesting designs. You can see these sort of silos where they keep their oil, these 2 little seaside townhouses, and then into the main sort of street. And we can see this lovely black and white design as well. I quite like these. This particular one here was actually built on stream when I first got raided, and if we take a little step back, I'm thinking this sort of corner view is too lovely to hide with other buildings, so I might just have like a market square here that's open enough so you can just see it there. That might very well be my idea. But now, if we continue up the river, sorry if I'm missing anything in chat. Oh Christ, yeah. The Parliament. I wouldn't know. Good old Spearmint. Yeah, no time to build. Too busy touring. We're going to come to the old town of Mayhole. Now, Mayhole used to be quite a powerful area, but you can see it's fallen into a bit of disrepair. It's some Norman style, what do you call that, a castle? It's not really a castle, more of a fort. Nah. Fortified residence, how about that? And it's loads of residences here. with its unique inn and sort of manor house here. I am considering expanding Mayhole onto the other bank, giving a few more interesting details. However, other than that, we shall continue on. You'll notice these purple dots I am following. These are basically what I use to navigate around the world, otherwise I'd probably get lost more than you'd expect. Only now is Sushi figuring out how to turn off the Discord notifications there. Good, good. We're all very proud of you. Oh dear. So if I take a little bit of a sharp left turn, we're going to come to a subsidiary of the main area, and that would be Haydenborough. Now Haydenborough is a very posh area, very wealthy, upper class people live here. And as such they have large townhouses to really show off their wealth. And a strangely pink church, because of course pink is in fashion. See these lovely designs here. Obviously this will expand up onto a little hillside there, but for now it's just these large townhouse designs. And moving across, we will come to the fortified town of Inchley. Now Inchley is actually pretty much on the edge of Brondholm. However, it is somewhat a separate entity, at least in how it is operated and governed. Inchley actually does have an export of its own, and believe it or not, it is soap. I think I went over this, how soap is made. It's basically you burn wood, some hay, you get your lye with fat, and hey presto, soap eventually. But Inchley has a lovely sort of design here, very light roofs, sort of an interesting one, and even nice towers, walkways and barracks in between. Just taking a quick flyover. As you can see, it's always surrounded by all these fields, because of course this area is known as the grasslands. It is incredibly fertile. And if I just quickly drop down here, you can actually kind of see sort of the path design I tend to go for. This stony and gravelly mix. Sometimes I think I might overdo it with the half slabs and how craters are formed, but I still think it looks nice. It certainly looks a lot nicer than it is easy to walk across. And crossing the bridge here over the River Breen, we come into a very, very fertile area, and I'll show you just oh, don't look at that. Spoilers ahead. We're coming to a lovely little post sign. So coming from this direction, we can see that Faradale, which is that little town there, is to our left. Halfsburg, which is over in that direction, the castle town. Talan is to our right, and Randalton is to our right, which is where we're gonna go. Sometimes to really appreciate a place you need to walk through it, and I do love the scenic route, even if I do have to keep dodging these little pits here. But enough of that. I can just fly the rest of the way. We're going to come to Talan. Now Talan is a fortified town, home to the Horse Lords, and my, it does have a lovely entrance, especially these rounded towers. I do like the rounded towers. Just to let you appreciate that a bit more. And do excuse me, that there is meant to be a horse. It is Minecraft. That's the best I can do. But unfortunately, other than this gatehouse and small row of houses, there is unfortunately very little to see in Talan. But it's certainly a very nice concept. Over here we come to Randalton. Now Randalton is a little village based just on the side of a hill next to Talan, and it also has its own little fort up on the hillside as well. Now Randalton is basically under the grounds of House Grant. Now Grant, the family, was given this land as exchange for an ancient relative's deeds to break the siege of Canondor, Canondor being a castle upon a cliffside. Incredibly difficult to take, but sieges would often last for many years even. But an ancient relative of House Grant's broke this siege and was granted this land as exchange for his deeds. So taking the path, oh look, it's the Half Mountain. I'm sure you remember the Half Mountain. We come back to Laura Lewin. Now Laura Lewin has was one of the first little towns I built, and as such I really love walking around it. This whole tall house thing. Huh. There's a missing block here. The thing you notice, huh? The things you notice. This lovely townhouse design with these buttons as decorations. I've certainly moved on quite a bit. Wow. I think someone's been vandalizing my server. I wonder. There we go. It's all very nice around this part of town. This is also home to one of the few buildings as well in the world that is fully decorated on the inside. Ah, isn't it cozy? It even has a lovely balcony that would have a beautiful view if only the draw distance was a little bit further. Unfortunately, we are on a Realms server, meaning that we're kind of tied to the limitations of the Xbox. So there you go. Thank you very much, Grimavulf, for the donkey. And continuing on, shall visit, once we pass through this solemn graveyard with these many shrines to the heroes once fallen, we come to Halfsburg. Now, this is the great castle town I was talking about. That was quite an ancient city. This gatehouse to the town was actually one of the first things in this entire world I ever built. So, ooh, take your pictures now. Thank you, Tiny Pickle, for the donkey. I do very much appreciate it. So we shall take a little tour. You can see the in the Great Lake we have all the boats. This one is not my design, and in fact most of the boats aren't. I wish they were, but damn do they look nice. And coming onto the seaside town, I do like this odd crane design. The market, many little buildings for blacksmiths and shops. And we continue round, and it gets a bit more fancy as you come up to the side where we'll come into the main castle. So you can see this is a fortified castle with its arrow slits, fitted with 2 portcullises, murder hole, and arrow slits on the inside. This is designed to be a bit of the death trap. But assuming you can make it past that, you would be pretty much into the main castle with this large feasting hall, pretty much open to the weather. Perhaps there should be doors here, but frankly, I do not want to build them. It's too beautiful just looking in there. And this here is actually an interesting piece. This is the Great Ashen Hall. If you remember the Ashen Knights, this is their ancient headquarters. An interesting build. And everyone take a deep breath. This is when we come to my very favourite part of the tour is when we visit Brontholm, the main city on the server. And hopefully Grim of Wolf, since this is definitely the first time you've ever seen it, it is by far the most impressive. So, heading from Halsberg into the main city, we are greeted by the Guardian Gate. This lone watcher stands over the river to make sure that no invaders should ever come back to haunt the residents. As we can see, we're coming into the old quarters with many of its buildings, winding paths, and even many of these large town buildings, function halls, all the little tradesmen that live on the main street, even with their a lovely arena here. Many of these buildings do serve purposes, but there's just as many that are for residents. And curving round, you can see the castle on the hill, the church on the hill here. Not my own design, but once again, truly beautiful, if only it were. And all these trade buildings here. In fact, the main three buildings are not my design. They were built before I had even thought of coming onto Twitch, but once again, it doesn't bother me too much. They are truly beautiful. Everything else, however, is my design. You can see these large buildings that just sort of hog the atmosphere at this point. The large medical uni. And as we swerve round, this is sort of like the consulate area with the embassy, the large tax office that towers into the sky here. And there's even a barracks over there and a theatre. I'm actually going to show you the inside of the theatre, because I think this is pretty neat. I like showing this one. Yeah, should we get the best seats in the house? Ah, there we go. We can watch old plays from in here.
Donkey.
Thank you very much for the donkeys.
Donkey.
We can see the bathhouses here. Should I have a little wander around Brontholm anymore, there's definitely little nooks and crannies that we certainly can't see from all the way up here, but certainly I would like to keep that for a later date. Perhaps even if you would like to come onto the Minecraft server, I'm sure we could figure that out at some point. Perhaps I'll take you down into the more industrious quarters, where these winding townhouses tower above the sky, and we even have places that smelt iron, as well as probably the most interesting one. This actually produces sulfuric acid. If you don't know how sulfuric acid is created, it's pretty much as simple as taking sulfur out the ground, reacting it up with water, and getting rid of the byproducts. Bada boom, sulfuric acid. What is sulfuric acid useful for, I ask, you say? Sulfuric acid is a very important ingredient in making fertilizers. So, that's how I justify having that there. Then you get these sort of weird, funky buildings with their strange designs. I do very much like that. Oh, you want to see stuff from street levels? Certainly, I will do that in just a second. The embassy and tax office. Well, if we come over here, actually, I'll show you some of these townhouses very quick. Ooh, because we're in the lovely market square here. This building here, I really love this design. It's quite quaint, humble, but very fancy at the same time. Is once again one of the few buildings that's actually decorated on the inside. That's the thing. Despite only having 3 blocks apart, it's actually fairly spacious. Lovely decorated indoors. Place to rest, study, and even eat. With our dining table at the back here. So we'll pop out of here and we'll just take a little walk up to the side. You will notice that there are many poor people living here. Now this is something I don't often mention. You can see there's also a sewer system. It's not fully developed if you're wondering, it's just sort of there for show. Like I can't take you into the sewer system and then crawl around in it if you're wondering. There is actually an undercity. I don't know if I've showed this off before. But there's pretty much a slum of people that live under the main city. So, yeah. Just thought I'd quickly mention that. You want to see the tax office from ground level, do you? Yeah, the tax office, also known as the Pickle, is, quite a building. Can I put spicy into this sewer system? I certainly could. Yeah, there's the tax office pretty much from ground level. Just in case you're wondering, like if you're totally not sure, yes, it is a tax office. But yeah, I like this one. And I think you also said you wanted to see the embassy. Yep, very imposing. People don't miss their taxes round here. I do like that building. It's got an interesting design. If I take you to the embassy, especially the quarters, there's actually a few lovely designs. Like these the tower tops, or the roofs to the towers. I really like it. But this is a lovely little square here with the consulate building. This is actually the ballot house where people can vote on their current yeah. And then we have things like trading offices. I think this is the foreign affairs office, and of course the embassy here. If I just take a little swoop away from it there, you can kind of see the better colours. If you're wondering, this red and orange, or gold if you prefer, design is actually the colours of the city. So hopefully that helps. Take a little look down, we can kind of walk these slight streets. But yes, certainly if you would like to come on the server, I'm sure I could try and arrange it. I have been talking a good bit about it. But of course I do have to make sure there's backups of this save, etc, etc. Make sure the server's big enough if I want to have more than just me on it. Me plus one, rather. Yeah. And that's the embassy. Does the city have a coat of arms or something? Not a coat of arms. Usually it just has a essentially like a flag, like a city flag, and the flag of Brontholm is this golden red cross here. You can see this is a particularly heavily flagged up area. But yeah, but yar. There's certainly different areas I can take you to be honest, there's just not enough time in the universe to fully show you around this place while walking. I've tried to make walking around the best way, especially like nice designs and little bits and bobs that make it look a bit more lived in, but it can be difficult. But yeah, you do get the best views when you're looking at it from this sort of perspective. Could take you into the wee garden here. Could have a little rest upon a bench. Ah, isn't it lovely? Right, I was going to show you that this is actually the medical university, and I like showing the inside of this one because it does have an inside, not fully fleshed out, but there are certain things in this, like lecturers' offices. This one belongs to Reagan Oakmont. Then we have classrooms here where the students may study with their lecturer, as well as practical studies where they can come into an operating theatre to no doubt watch their professor murder some poor fellow. But yeah, I do like the medical university. It is designed in and out. Oh, and Grimavulf, this is the perfect time to show you the very last thing that I've been purposely trying to avoid showing you up until now. This is probably the I don't know, the cherry on the cake that is Brondholm, because I'm going to show you the cathedral now. Obviously the cathedral is not finished, it is a monstrosity of a work, but certainly the design is there, and it's quite a beautiful design. I do hope you'll like it. And there we are. Now, the cathedral was actually meant to be based originally on the real-life cathedral within Cologne. Now, that plan pretty much went right out the window, and I went with my own design, but frankly, I think that was for the best. But definitely, if we continue round to the side, you'll start to see that we have the lovely large centerpiece window, and of course plenty of light coming down the side. An interesting tower just to break up the right angle that would have been there. Even larger towers, of course, with the red and gold sort of design for the city. They just stretch up into the atmosphere. If you're wondering, these are meant to symbolize statues on the side. So, yeah, certainly a lot of work to be done. I'll take you around to the back. Obviously, there's got to be some ornate design on this massive sort of facing there. It's going to curve round. There'll be loads of buttresses holding it up. I'm sure it'll be absolutely lovely. And if I take you inside, despite the fact that the inside hasn't been decorated, I can't get enough of this large pillared sort of hallway here. If you've ever watched Lord of the Rings, it kind of reminds me of the Mines of Moria. Wow, that is the first time I've ever heard that being used, and I'm now going to have to check it. Sushi, you absolute madman. Thank you so much for that £10. That is truly too kind of you. I'm sure the order will use that to great effect. I hope everyone likes that sound clip as well. I'm so glad it worked. But truly, that is my that's pretty much my reaction to that. Just, oh my god, thank you so much, truly. Yeah, this cathedral is probably going to take a lot more than £10 to build, considering the materials, but every penny helps. There's a few things I haven't shown you, just odd pieces and odd bits and bobs. Like this ridiculously large sort of like tenement building here that I was whittling away on. If we come round to the back, we can easily see there that the inside is split into rooms. It is a ridiculous amount of planning and work to get this working, but hey ho. Is this on PC or console? Okay, I'll go over this. I'll sort of do the backstory again. This world was originally started maybe just over 3 years ago on Minecraft for the Xbox 360. When the Xbox One came out, obviously I updated to Xbox One, and now this is actually on well, I'm currently playing at least on a Realms server, and I'm doing that on the Minecraft Windows 10 version. However, it is on a Realms server, so it's pretty much limited in that sense. Preferably, I'd manage to get on into Java, but at the same time, there's not really a way to download it. Right, is there anything anyone would like to see? Certainly, if you want, I can keep walking around Brondholm. Like I said, when I can, I try and make the ground level as walking friendly as possible. It even has these lovely little streets. Now, I'm not sure if I should texture a bit more. It's quite a bit monotonous. But if you were to come onto the server, you'd notice strange buildings like this. They all have little odd bits. For instance, that's the dye maker. This here is House Limewood. Interesting fact, House Limewood actually burned down in a freak accident on the server. So most of the top half was rebuilt from memory. Quite a shame, to be honest. Here we have the bank, where all the juice is stored. Yes, this is where all your juice is backed up. Just in case you were wondering, yes, it definitely says bank. We come down here to the bakery and the inn. Now the inn actually does have an interior. I know, interesting. It's not quite as luxurious as the tangy halls, but it's certainly will do for a bed for the night. You don't like the juice storage being close to something that burned down. Oh no, it is a lot of effort making it this far, trust me. This tour is intensive, and people have got stuff to do. Oh, it's a candlestick maker. Sometimes I forget what my own buildings are for. Like this one that doesn't actually have a use at current. And then we come into a more general area. But as you can see, this one is a carpenter. He's currently in the middle of building a carriage, apparently. Here it looks like we have a glass blower. Very interesting. Oh, I didn't really show you Harley.
Oh, hello there!
Oh, Jesus Christ, that is loud. Thank you so much for the hello there. I was getting a little bit sleepy, but now I'm perfectly awake again. But no, I could honestly spend hours and hours and hours and hours showing you around this world. To be honest, I could probably give you an in-depth detail of every single building in Brondholm. Coming over the river, we reach Harley. Once again, there's a few interesting and unique designs to see. Loads of planned designs. This lovely church here as well. And what I was trying to avoid is sort of these lovely gates. This view is quite the view. Just this lovely fortified wall and these tall tower gates. I really do like it. It's very nice. This is Faradale. They obviously have their windmill and their wheat storage and grains. Coming through. Ah, isn't it beautiful? All these lovely townhouse designs. Like I said, I try and keep everything somewhat unique in design. However, doesn't always happen. I do my best though. I do my best. Spook Redemption. Just trying to get your attention. Oh, is Grimma Wolf away? Oh dear. I hope he had a lovely time. I hope to see him in again. Perhaps I can convince him to be a regular watcher, who knows. It was lovely seeing him. I love walking through the streets with big buildings on both sides. Well, there is plenty of that. Especially when we get into Extraordinaire, will be built up quite like that. If I bring you back down here... Oh, has everyone seen Courage, my pet horse? Oh, he's a lovely, lovely horse, so loyal. If I bring you down here, this is actually the stables. Quite a wealthy family lives in the stables. But here's the goodest boy of them all, Courage. Aw, good boy, good boy. Yeah, so Courage, my trusty horse. And as I take you up here, this is a lovely little street that couldn't be any more walking down a street with big buildings on each side, because this is quite a winding path. As you can see, there's some lovely designs that you can barely see because of how cramped it is. Walking down this little street. And this brings us down to the end of Amber Wind. Who is feeding that horse? Mystical men that no one can see. Don't worry, he's well fed. Yeah, Amber Wind. Yeah, no photos of Courage in the pet chat. That's unfortunate. I'll have to change that. Has anyone seen the weavery? They weave many a cotton here. I don't even know if it's meant to be called a weavery, but weavery it is. And there's many, many professions down this main road here. As we can see, this looks like a ladder maker to me. A rope maker, in fact. If we move just to the left here, we can see what looks like a woodworker. Here is his lovely lathe. Oh. I don't think anyone works a profession here, but I can tell this sod must be a brick worker. And above him is a lovely fancy house belonging to House Oakmont. Actually, I haven't even shown one of the one of my favourite buildings. Yeah, I try and give little back alleys like this plenty of character. This is the courthouse, by the way, in case you were wondering why I had the city flags upon it. Just a small little back alley like this with sort of loads of lovely colours kicking about. Yeah, I'll take you to one of my favourite buildings, which is the family home of House Edelhard. It's a great design in my opinion. I do love it so much. Are those numbers in the sky? Yes, those are indeed numbers in the sky. Interesting story now that you ask. Basically, I keep tabs on the population. So each building that is built, unfortunately for Brontholm, that I started building before I had this idea, so I'm kind of playing catch up around here. But each building I build, I keep a tab of, so I guesstimate how many people I think would live in that building, and then put it into a big Excel file. Perhaps I will share that Excel file because it is quite mad. If you were to look at this Excel file, you would wonder, I think you would be concerned for my sanity. Well, yeah. Oh, and also, you may notice this is a different flag. This flag with the sort of green third at the top denotes a post office. Or in this case, courier service is what I decided to call it. Yes, so if you ever see a building with loads and loads of chests in it like this, it's a post office. And as you can see, it has these lovely little bits out here. So people sending mail to Asher, Talan, Uldergard, Habsburg. Sending it to Harlots or Charlottes. Yeah, here we go. This is House Edelhard. I absolutely love this design with all its wackiness. Usually I do modular buildings, and this certainly has modular in it, but it all comes together to make some wacky building that is truly lovely. Loads of balconies and odd little towers poking out. Coming round to the back here. Indeed. Agent 17's wife. I love Excel spreadsheets. Oh, then you're going to absolutely love the Excel spreadsheet I've made for this. It is, yeah, too much. Probably too much. But there you go. Obviously there's a bit of a distillery going on here, but I've shown that off. Some there probably needs to be a bit more interestingness around here, but I try and add in like benches and fountains and stuff like that, just to give the place a bit more of a, I don't know, lived in vibe. It can be a bit monotonous with all these empty streets. Oh, I'm trying to think, rack my brain, if there's anything that I should show you that I have yet to show you. Anything strange or interesting? Be prepared to be graded on your work. I'm sure I will fail miserably. Right, there we go. There's actually an underpass to the main tower, and there's kind of a seedy place here. I'm not going to tell you what this building is, but I'm sure you can try and guess. There's even a lovely little pub across the road. I like the archway designs. This sort of winds back in this underground pass. So very cool. Is that floor made of sulfur? No, this is yellow wool. Although it could be. I don't think it would matter. Technically, there is no block for sulfur in this game. With a lot of the blocks, you have to kind of use your imagination. But I don't know. There's almost a lovely little restaurant down here. That's a pub there. All these little stalls, and they sell cake. Come on, people. If you don't come for the commentary, the lovely world, at least come for the cake. Cake. Oh, and the sheep. Oh yeah, just in case you didn't know, it's a pub. They even sell a lovely artwork. Unfortunately, no stamps though. No stamps for sale. A wee lumber yard here. Sort of a wacky shop here as well. All sorts of interestingness. 251 sushi. Very good. And Tiny Pickle 210, very good as well. I'm very impressed. And as we continue along the way, like I said, there's loads of odd bits, tids and tads to have a wee look at. Oof, and 362 for Agent 17's wife. Honestly, Agent 17's wife, I hope you reach Zealot soon, because oh boy howdy. I'm gonna need to start finding new rewards for people who reach these grandiose heights. There's actually a little market over here if you didn't notice. Yeah, there's sort of like a mini market. All these sorts of weird things. But yeah, honestly, I really need to sort out trying to get people onto the server. I don't know how much hassle it would be, but certainly it would be more than a pleasure to let you have a wander about. It's all about that walkabilly. So, once again guys, is there anything else you'd like to see in the world? Anything you'd like me to talk about? Anything you'd like to ask me in general? Honestly, it's been a long night. I'd be more than happy to speak about whatever you wish, chat about whatever you want. I am all yours. Well, probably not the question I was expecting, but do I like hot dogs? Yes, I do very much like hot dogs. I take both ketchup and mustard on my hot dogs. I am no holds barred type of person. Tiny Pickle asks me, what do I like to watch on YouTube? Well, before I was on Twitch, I certainly did watch a heck of a lot of YouTube. To be honest, I watched quite a lot of stuff on YouTube. Gamers specifically, a couple of current events channels, that sort of rubbish. If you were wanting to ask me specifics, I have to think. I'm trying to think specifically of any YouTubers that I really like. Perhaps YouTubers that don't get enough spotlight. I certainly like watching Dark Souls lore videos. I love Dark Souls, so there's some great channels like Vati Vidya. Silvermont is really good. Even Ashen Hollow, he's done some quite good stuff there. All sorts of weird, wacky videos. I even like, I'm trying to think of some good ones. Like, honestly, when it comes to YouTube, I watch pretty much everything. Sushi coming in with favourite food. Well, I think this is very much like asking what's your favourite video game. But in this case, I am going to give you a decent answer and say that it is spaghetti bolognese. Not only because I think it is a truly lovely dish, but I can actually make a mean spaghetti bolognese myself. If you ever happen to come to Scotland, you're more than welcome to come round for dinner, and I will make you some of my famous spaghetti bolognese. Oh, we'll take a wee wander into the church, will we? Not that there's too much to see. It's just a pretty thing to look at. Oh, you'll take me up on that. Oh dear. Oh, what's your favourite song? Tiny Pickle asks. Oof, once again, these are honestly questions that cannot have a single answer. Basically, I'll take that question and slightly twist it and basically say, what are my favourite bands? What do I listen to? Once again, I listen to a whole lot of stuff, but I generally revolve around rock and metal genres. So, if you're talking easygoing, I don't mind some alternative rock, such as I don't know if the Killers are big in America, but they're very big in Britain for some reason. I could do a Foo Fighters. Do love some Foo Fighters. Probably their older stuff more than their newer stuff, unfortunately. I suppose that kind of happens with bands. On the metal side of things, I love progressive metal, Symphony X, maybe some weird mathcore type bands like Destridge. But in general, all over the place, there's very few genres of music I don't like. Although country seems to be one genre of music that I just can't find any songs that I would listen to in my free time. You said earlier you play guitar. How long have you been playing guitar? 11 years. So since yeah, about 11 years. Ooh. Ah. Am I allergic to anything? Not in the common sense. However, I do have very bad hay fever. Um, while technically that means I have an allergy to pollen, it can be very on and off. What is an interesting thing is in the height of summer, certain fruits, so for instance bananas, they cause me to get a bit of a swollen throat if I eat bananas in the summer. Hay fever is a very strange allergy. Ah, huh. Uh, Christ, we can all agree that country sucks. Oh dear. But how do you feel about southern rock? So, Leonard Skinner, the Outlaws. I really like Leonard Skinner. Um, my favourite song from Leonard Skinner is Tuesday's Gone. Don't ask me why, I really like that song. Of course, Sweet Home Alabama and Freebird are fantastic songs, but sometimes when you hear a song too much, it gets a little bit boring. But yeah, I really do like southern rock, although unfortunately I'm not very well versed in it. What's my favourite colour? My favourite colour is red. There's not a particular reason to that, but I really like the colour red. While I would mostly just say, really like a proper bright red, I do like darker maroon sort of colours. Burgundy, I have a lot of clothing items that are burgundy. Oh, favourite Skinner song is Give Me 3 Steps. Give me 3 steps and more. I do like that song. Although it's a bit more a beaty than I usually prefer. I don't know how to describe it. I'm kind of wandering through. How tall am I? Oh dear, this is the part where I say 7 foot. Um, always exaggerate, add a few inches. No, I am 5'9.5", so I'm pretty bang on average. Well, we'll just round up to 5'10". How about that? Ooh, favorite drink, alcoholic and non. Well, that can actually open up a completely different line of questioning. My favorite drink in general may possibly be Pepsi Max, simply because it's my favorite soft drink. Um, if we're talking other drinks, I do love a strawberry milkshake. Ooh, a real good strawberry. This is the thing. You can get some really bad strawberry milkshakes, but the really good ones are just worth it. When it comes to alcohol, that sort of genre of drink, I do like cider. However, my favourite is, well, malt scotch. Good old whiskey. I actually have a tiny bit of single malt Scotch collection. What colour are my eyes? I have blue eyes. We're taking a wee visit to St. Catherine's Palace here. Donkey! Good old donkey. Oh, I'm loving it. Yeah, just to think about it, I do have a good bit of a Scotch whiskey collection. Christ, I mean, how can I not? I live in Scotland. There's some of the best whiskies in the world. I do know that Canada, it's not particularly Scotch whiskey. It's more in the rye family that Canada tends to produce. Obviously, America's more bourbon. Ooh, what kind of movies do I watch? Ooh, once again, I am kind of all over the place. I do like my odd sci-fi type of movies. I'm a big Star Wars fan. Well, I say that, I'm not particularly into the Disney movies as of recent. I think they're too, I don't know, they're too sketchy, kind of like Disney are trying to turn Star Wars into like a Marvel film. Almost as if, like, you know, Guardians of the Galaxy, it feels like they're trying to go for that vibe. And that's just, I don't really feel that's what Star Wars is. Don't get me wrong, Star Wars can be light-hearted, but it's not in that group. We could also look at other stuff like Minority Report, The Fifth Element. These sort of sci-fi films are really good. Christ, I like comedies, so Hot Fuzz, obviously Shaun of the Dead, and good old British humour. I'm sure that's big in America too, though, is it not? Yeah, Christ, I'm all over the places with movies as well. There we go, Doctor Who. Now, Doctor Who is something that I have watched very briefly. I've catched a few episodes when it was David Tennant as the Doctor. And it was okay. I just don't think it was up my street, you know? Oh, brilliant. Big Simon Pegg fan. I do like The World's End. It was kind of interesting, actually. I went to the cinema to see At World's End, or yeah, whatever it's really spelled as. But honestly, it's one of these movies that's actually grown on me the more I watch it. I think when I saw it at the cinemas, I was a bit underwhelmed, but then as I've rewatched it, I've realised it is a really good movie. I think sometimes, you know, it's hard to live up to the reputation, because I think both Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz are just masterclass films, honestly. Truly great comedies. Ooh, aye. Speaking of that, I suppose it's in that realm of humour. Have any of you ever watched Blackadder? That is a fantastic series with Rowan Atkinson. Have I ever watched Monk? Not gonna lie, that doesn't ring a bell. Maybe you can tell me what it's about? I've unfortunately never watched Monk, but perhaps if you recommend it, I will give it a small watch. when I find some spare time somewhere. I'm literally just looking about. Christ, this has turned into the whole Sims thing again as well. I'm not actually playing the game properly, I'm just sort of waddling around. Oh, favorite cartoon. Now we're getting into some really difficult to answer, because that's another thing where, oh, in between streams, guest starring on talk shows. Yeah, honestly, I think it would do quite well for a talk show. I don't know if we'd have to come up with topics or if we'd go off the fly, but no, it was great talking to you, man. Absolutely fantastic. But favourite cartoon. I'd have to split that up into several sections. So, for instance, when I was younger, my favourite cartoon would have been Ed, Edd and Eddy. I did love that cartoon. To be honest, there were quite a few. You could always go cartoon based. If you've never watched Metalocalypse, you have to watch that. That is an absolute fantastic cartoon. Well, it's like it depends. Do you count something like South Park as a cartoon, or The Simpsons as a cartoon? Well, actually, no. The Simpsons would definitely count. The first 13 seasons of The Simpsons are absolutely fantastic. Yeah. Okay, so Monk is a TV show about a detective who's scared of almost everything. Okay, it's an amazing show. You should check out. Huh. Actually, that's pretty good. Yes, I will definitely give that a little check out. Is it on Netflix or anything like that? Just so I won't have to go scouring anywhere for it. What's am I doing here? And what other ones we go? Oh, you own every season of Metalocalypse. Oh, that is fantastic. Honestly, it is a great show, isn't it? Absolutely love it. Oh, these haven't been filled in. Your Wi-Fi network is Mordhau. Oh god, yeah. Like, I've even got my girlfriend into Metalocalypse. She loves it as well. It's just so memeable as well. It's like, I think it's like the very first episode. They're going to the supermarket. It's just the part where he like pushes his face into the deli counter. It's like brutal. Can't get enough of it. Have you seen Bob's Burgers? No, I am not even sure what that is. You'll have to elaborate slightly more. Tiny Pickle, no, but you could probably find it at a library. Well, I'm starting to think your version of a library and my version of a library are slightly different. I don't know, is that... Do libraries in America generally sell like DVDs and stuff like that? Because libraries over here certainly don't. They're pretty much book based. Although that'd be very handy. It means I wouldn't have to go to an actual outlet for DVDs. There we go. So, and yes, agency, I'm going to leave you for Simon Pegg. Oh, to be honest, don't even blame you. Watch Man Up for a bit of romantic comedy with Simon Pegg. I've never... Actually, that doesn't ring a bell. Certainly. I'm going to have to give that a watch. It's a... Oh, favourite character. Of course it's Toki. Come on, Toki's just... Oh, he's just so happy all the time. And everyone knows that Toki is actually a fantastic guitar player. It's just... Poor fella, he's so nervous. Oh, dear. It's a ridiculous cartoon for adults about a family that runs a burger restaurant. I'm not gonna lie, that sounds right up my alley. So we have books and movies. We borrow them. Yeah, that's pretty much how it works here as well. I don't know if it's just because I live in a smaller town, but maybe the libraries in larger cities do also have DVD sections. I just know, like, I'll pretty much live right across the road from a library. It does not have movies. Whew. So they rent tons of things here in Canada, like Fitbits, TV shows and movies, bikes, pedometers. Wet. Christ, our libraries need to catch up. I'm telling you, they're still just books. I don't know. It's very segmented. And sorry, I didn't know, Tiny Pig. What are you saying sorry for? I don't know. I don't know if it was the we borrow them sort of thing there. Absolutely not. It can be hard telling the differences between countries, even ones that share a language in previous history. Maybe you could find it on YouTube. Certainly give it a go. I mean, I could probably pick it up from HMV. Now, HMVs, I don't know if you have them in America, probably not. I think they're Britain specific. But they sell pretty much every like TV show and movie under the sun. So I'll probably pick it up from there. I don't know if mine has books. Wet? How can a library not have books? Come on, man. It's just weird. Whew. Doing these short little design bits here, there we go. In places that people don't read books, they need other things available. Well, they certainly do, but I gotta say, I have never been into a library that has quite that sort of range. Like, I've definitely seen a library that like has the DVD, but it's not like you wouldn't find general DVDs there. It's like more help DVDs and that sort of rubbish. You never really find anything that's like entertaining, unless you like DVDs that help you learn Spanish or something like that. Ooh, that also goes up. Which is interesting. Does anyone in chat actually speak any other language other than English? That's an interesting question to ask. Our local library actually has lots of fitness related things and propaganda trying to get people active. Oh, why not? Worth a try. Bob's Burgers is on Hulu in America, but it could be on Netflix. Ooh, I'll have to give it a look. Concerningly, my dad is an absolute whiz at getting TV shows. I'm not going to say he does it by completely legal means, but certainly if I were to ask him, I'd probably be able to get a few seasons of it on a hard drive. go. Right. Oh dear. Seems I keep swapping it between the two ones there. You can watch Monk with Amazon Prime. Ooh, I certainly do have Amazon Prime. Maybe not there. Don't know. Banned. Lol. But yeah, tell me if anyone in here speaks any other languages other than English. Be interesting if we did have a bilingual. I mean, I know that some parts of Canada are a bit bilingual with French, but I think that's more the other coast, isn't it? Yeah, I don't speak any other languages, but you may find it interesting that learning French in school became mandatory. Why? I'm not gonna lie, like, actually, that's kind of a thing here in Scotland. Like, Scotland, while it certainly is different from England in many aspects, it's no more different from England. Like, for instance, if you were to go down to Newcastle, which is northern England, Newcastle is just as different from the south of England as Scotland is from Newcastle. It's like, there's a difference, but it's not massive, right? And then there's about 10,000 people out of a 5 million population in Scotland that speaks Gaelic, which is kind of like the like Scots Gaelic, rather, like sort of our version of the Irish dialect. And then again, barely anyone in Ireland speaks Gaelic either. And it's like they keep trying to push this, the Scottish government, with loads of like signs and stuff in Gaelic, and I'm like, oh, it's not worth it. You're wasting money. No one speaks Gaelic. But then again, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's plenty of people in Canada that do speak French on a regular basis, and maybe they just want to preserve that. I ain't got anything against preserving your culture, unless it's French. In which case, burn it to the ground. Oh dear, most of what I watch is by unapproved means. Oh, naughty. Christ. I speak American Sign Language. Ooh. I'll count that. I'll count that for the giggles. No, that's good though. You must be fully bilingual to be an officer in the army, and being fluent in French is a huge bonus if you're looking for any type of government work. Oh, that just seems too quota-y. It's kind of like they're trying to enforce French when they know that if people had the choice, French would eventually become a very uncommon language. But then again, I am assuming that there is at least a decent amount of people who do speak French as somewhat a first language in Canada, whereas in Scotland, it's like no one speaks Gaelic. No one. Maybe if you travel to the tippy top and got a boat out to one of the islands, maybe you'd find someone who speaks Gaelic on a daily basis, but I think they're just trying to push that sort of thing. Because you have to remember, it's kind of in the Scottish government's interest to make it out as if Scotland's incredibly different from the rest of the UK. it be their prerogative. What else do we have here? Well, true, you can stream everything online, it's not wrong. Oh, Agent 17's. I grew up in Texas around a large Hispanic population, so I understand a bit of Spanish, but not much. I can also speak a bit of Spanish, but again, not much. Yeah, sushi, there's a whole province, and French is a first language, but they don't even want to be a part of Canada. I'm guessing that, is that the Quebec? Yeah. That's sort of the cultural tensions you get. What can you do? People derived from the French blood. No reasoning with them. Oh dear. No, that seems just fine. Chill, look at that. We practically have another house on the go. Very good stuff. Oh, so I don't have to answer this, Agent 17's wife. But you're asking how old am I? Ooh, tough question. Do I answer? Do I not? I am 20 years old, so I am still just a baby. Oh, shite. There we go. And have to adding in all the things I keep hacking away. Not too bad, not too bad. We'll keep muddling around with this one. Oh dear. Oh, Tiny Pickle is 19. Yep. You were practically born yesterday. Oh, Christ. I think all the French immigrants got deported to Louisiana when the Acadian expulsion deal went down. Oh yes, it's a very young stream, isn't it? I think the cumulative age here would barely break 150. If that. Christ, let me think. Unless, of course, the agents suddenly break out and they're like a 90-odd-year-old. I won't judge you, agents. If you're 90-year-old, that's fine. You just ain't hipping down with it anymore. Ah, darn. We're just bringing it right across. Well then, at least we've got a structure going. I don't necessarily need to fill it in. The conspiracy theories start. Agent 17 was actually born in 1917. Oh, so you're like 100 years old. Wow. To be fair, if you were 100 years old, you know, you've done everything else, you might as well spend your time collecting juice. To be fair, you should have been spending your entire life collecting juice. Well, if your combined age is 79, unless you're a couple who have a fairly large gap in age, I'm assuming you're both mid to late 30s then. Which is a good age. Oh god. Well, I wouldn't give. I bet you can go to the store without getting ID'd. That'd be glorious. Oh yeah, just to make things funny for you. In Scotland, you get ID'd for buying energy drink. How does that sound? Sushi. Oh geez, one of us is older than the other by a bit. Oh dear me, now I have to figure out which way around it is. Well, I think the vast majority of cases would suggest that the male of the couple would be the older one. However, there are exceptions to this rule. I can only assume that Agent 17's wife is about 17 years old, and that somewhere in that region. Oh Christ. Yeah, so basically you can buy alcohol. The legal age for alcohol is 18 in Scotland. However, they've recently made a law in Scotland. Well, actually, I'm not sure if it's law. It might just be participating companies. But we now have to ID people for energy drink, and we're not allowed to sell it to them if they are under 16. So you have to be over 16 to buy energy drink. But it depends on the store, but a lot of stores employ an 25 policy, so basically if you look like you could be under 25, you're going to get ID'd for energy drink, which is fun. But then again, it doesn't affect me too much. I don't really drink energy drink. Oh dear. Dearie me. I haven't bought more than 3 energy drinks since I turned 16. Well, maybe I've drank a bit more than that, but yeah, it's very rare. Oh dear. Gotta stretch the arms at this point. Ooh, get that morning stretch on. Oh, how often do I drink soda? I think I've explained this before. I'm not a particularly healthy person, so I drink quite a bit of soda. I think if I were to give you an average, we're talking maybe 5-6 cans a day. So, yep, I need to get that water intake on top of that, eh? And don't worry, I only plan to live a short life. When my kidneys give out, I'll be all good. Oh yes, you can almost hear that caffeine screaming at me. That's a lot of soda. Yeah, the problem with what I drink in particular is although there's no sugar in it, there's still caffeine, and certain sweeteners in non-sugary drinks essentially act as an inflation for appetite. So you do have to be careful about not drinking too much, but when I say 5 or 6, like that's not like over like a long period. We're talking in spurts, you know. How much caffeine compared to a cup of coffee? There'd probably be less caffeine than a cup of coffee, I'd imagine. Don't know. Maybe I'll have to look it up. And being a filthy Brit, I do not drink coffee very often. I am mostly a tea person. Ooh, I did finish this one, didn't I? I think I'll have to make sure I back up this world at some point. Make sure that I'm not going to lose any huge amount of progress. That'd probably be a good idea. Do I have any siblings? I am unfortunately an only child. I say unfortunately, I meant fortunately. Because, damn, being a single child is good. I'm not gonna lie. I may or may not have been slightly spoilt. What can I say? I wouldn't hold it against my parents. As you can tell, they did an absolutely fantastic job. I mean, Christ. I mean, you have to be a great parent to raise someone who can build on Minecraft this well. It's just a fact. Don't mind me, I'm just blowing smoke at my own back end. Ah, darn. The reason, by the way, the reason I asked about the whole, if anyone was bilingual, is because I have had a little shot at trying to learn other languages. Unfortunately, that's never really been successful. I'm unfortunately probably too impatient and too erratic. I don't know. I'll be obsessed with something for like a month and then boop, gone. Never think about it again. Oh, Agent 17's wife. Sorry I missed that. You're saying you're going to bed. I am leaving the stream on, but may not say anything in chat. Okay, good. Hopefully you hear this goodbye. Many goodbyes. Bye-bye. What is my job? Well, currently I'm in between things, funnily enough. Otherwise I probably wouldn't be streaming this much. Don't worry. I'll continue streaming constantly. This is my job now. No, I've currently got a part-time job in a supermarket, which it pays the bills in the meantime. I just had my people run the numbers. 1 cup of coffee equals 0.61 cans of Pepsi Max. Oh dear. Well, in that case, I have a lot of cups of coffee. That is usually during the week, though. Every now and then I'll take, like, a weird month where I don't drink any, like, fizzy drink. It's all pure fruit juices and water. Really like apple juice. Should probably say orange juice just for the PR, but won't lie, some good apple juice. Oh right, I didn't know they did cans of coffee. Well, actually, they do cans of coffee, like espresso and shit like that. Espresso. Okay, so I keep getting off topic. So technically, I do know a very small amount of Finnish, and I also know a very tiny tad of Polish. But well, technically, if I'm gonna count those two, I could practically go saying I know a tad of French and German, but like, we're talking words here, like, you know, a couple at most. Like, pretty much any language you play a native talking at a regular speed, and I wouldn't have a clue what they're saying. Do I have hobbies? Ooh, I might have missed that one there. Yes, I play guitar. If we're talking other hobbies, I do play football. Not very often, unfortunately. Recently, I have had a bad injury in the last year or so. That means it's quite difficult to play sports. But when I can, I do endeavour. Other than that, I like a good read a history book, although I probably don't read anywhere near as much as what you maybe should, but then again, who does nowadays? Hobbies. I'm trying to think of what I would count as a hobby. This is somewhat artistic. I don't think I've drawn in years, but there you go. I can doodle. Christ, oof, you didn't learn French. Good on you. It's the rival with the Frenchies, I promise. Oh, and you're gonna go ahead and count the guest hosting. Okie dokie. Oh, Agent 17. Are you trying to cheat the system? Are you trying to get Agent 17's wife there all the way up to Zealot ranking? Artificially. Oh dear. To be fair though, I think it's unfortunate for Agent 17's wife that she does catch a lot of the streams, but what she does not do, as I was articulating earlier, is that she doesn't take full advantage of the active bonus. It is very much true that the active bonus is quite juicy. There we go, where are we? I just changed some things that might help. I have no clue what you mean by that, Agent 17, but so on. Tiny Pickles, sorry if this is a little personal, but do you ever want to have kids? No problem whatsoever. Don't worry, there's pretty much no question that you could ask me that I would be annoyed about. Certainly in the future. I like to think of myself as a, I don't know how to put it, more of an experience-orientated person rather than a goals-orientated person. Some people derive happiness from feeling like they've achieved things. I like to say I'm more of experience sort of person. Like the family life certainly seems something that I would derive a lot of happiness from. So maybe not currently. I want to try and make sure that I have a solid foundation for the future when I build my Twitch empire. There we go. The way I think about it is that you've definitely got to build this roof. That way at least you have a very stable outline and everything should be fine and dandy. Her account is now on the TV. I also changed the Twitch Prime to her account. I will lose this emote soon. I would be a good storyteller. Well, I hope so. I like to think I can ramble on about pretty much anything. Interesting indeed. Probably could fill that out. Sushi, what do you mean by SSB? Not sure what that means. Do you play SSB? Super Smash Brothers. I am absolutely ashamed to tell you that no, I have never played Super Smash Brothers. I know, gasp in horror. Like I said, there's a lot of things I haven't played. Quite a lot of I think I'm probably a bit too young to have missed that sort of era, especially playing with friends. Certainly my family aren't particularly game orientated, so that sort of thing just never amounted for me. Me too. I do love that emote. That's pretty good, that one. Sorry if I'm being a bit silent. I'm just concentrating. Unfortunately, being the early morning, I try to be somewhat quiet. But then again, being early morning, I might not have to be as quiet as I usually am. But still, it's nice to have manners. Oh dear.
Oh, hello there!
And that's precisely what I needed. Thank you so much, Agent 17. Oh dear. Oh. Oh dear. And pop some of these the roof in. I might as well do the roof while I'm here. Can't constantly keep coming back to things after months of not even looking at it. There are so many unfinished things in this world that it'd be nice to just have some things that are finished. Thoughts on Lady Gaga's music? She's got some pretty catchy songs. Altogether, it's not really yeah, good point. You've just ensured that she's awake for the night. Yeah, Lady Gaga's got some pretty decent songs. I'm not really a big fan, but there are some songs that if they come on, I'm certainly not going to skip them. Put it that way. Yep, Agent 17 is going to regret that. or maybe not. Maybe he'll regret it either way. So it's the thought that counts. And he was completely thoughtless. Wow. Honestly, I'm gonna have to check the currency right now, because I swear that there must be bots that watch my streams just constantly. Is this keeping up with current times? It should be, yeah. Because apparently we have 8 viewers. But, how many of us are in? It should be 4 viewers. Unless we've got some lovely lurkers who are holding back. Just make sure they're all ticked off there. No, I have not heard that album. Okay, I'll give it a good go. Oh, since we're on the subject, you did say you played Guitar Sushi. How good are you? Um, are you quite adept? Tiny Pickles, yeah, you are quiet sometimes, but it's very nice when you're talking in chat. It just means that I know you're having a good time watching the stream. There we are. Probably add that in. Ah, what do we reckon, people? Ah, Fallon's coming along very well. It's also home of the squids, if we remember. Ah, good old squid. Ah, Squidly, my favourite squid. Squad. More squid. Squad, squid. Squad again. Yeah, these squids have been here for a very long time. Oh, quiet. I don't like those words. Please, no hello. I will uncheck that command so you can't use it. Oh god. I was pretty good when I was in high school, but then my music taste changed from metal to pop, and I lost my much technical ability aside from bar chords. Ooh, unfortunate. Although, even just that, you can have a lot of fun plinking away on a guitar with just a few chords in your locker. Maybe if I'm feeling really, I don't know, open, maybe I can upload some songs to the Discord. I don't know if it'll take audio files, and you can hear some of my recorded songs. Did I name one Squidward? No, unfortunately I did not. I was trying to be somewhat original. I say that as I have like about 7 squads and squids. But I like to think these are distant relatives of Squidward. Just a shame they don't have large starfish. Because Patrick Star is probably my favourite character off of SpongeBob. Oh dear. I don't know. I like your very creative use of the quotes there, Agent 17. That one is pretty good, I will admit. And yes, I did say that to you. And indeed, it was all your fault. Ooh. Ah. To be perfectly honest, there is a ton of things to actually do in this world that I could be doing right now that I'm just too lazy to get around to. One of the most boring things I'll have to eventually do is actually figure out the world map, because a lot of it is needing filled in. I have indeed filled in most of the most of the most frequented areas, but other than that, literally the quotes they're quotes from my stream. I literally sat through one of my streams and quoted myself every now and then, as well as a few other things I say quite often. I know, sad. I sat through one of my own streams. Now I know the pain that you people feel every day. But yeah, if you guys want to add more quotes, please go to the archive. Suggest some more. Just make sure that they are genuine quotes. That's what I'm going for. I've already, I was a big meanie to Vlad and deleted his quote. But I think there's something like 21 quotes somewhere in that region. And I long for the day when it's something like 700,000. Do I like hot chocolate? I do indeed. However, most hot chocolate is powder, and powder can be a 50-50 thing. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not. But every now and then you'll get someone who makes hot chocolate with real chocolate, and it's just like, oh. Well, Christ, it's literally melted chocolate and water, so how can it not be good? Yes, I have said many words on your stream. And in fact, thank you very much, Susie, for adding that to the archive. I'll make sure and put that in the quotes after I get off tonight, or this morning, or whenever. I'm never ending the stream. This is just going to keep on going forever and ever and ever. I'm not going to lie, I kind of want to keep streaming until Agent 17's wife has hit Zealot. I don't know how long she's got to go. But oh, you're so close. Anytime you get into the 400s, that is close enough for me. Just a tiny bit more. Probably take a little view over to Inchley. I'm really trying to scout out more opportunities to build up because there's so many unfinished things. Even just adding a little roof every now and then, just something that makes it feel like there's progress. I mean, obviously, you guys aren't the biggest Minecraft fans. Hopefully, you can come to know this world and you can start to suggest what I may be able to do because you'll know what needs to be done. But I would absolutely love that if you would maybe even put suggestions of what I could do in the world. There is a Minecraft channel on the Discord, so you can always pop anything you want to say about it in there. I think so far I've mostly been talking about trying to get a server up and running for it. Huh. Okay, I done goofed. We're just gonna do like a straight up, apparently. I'm pretty sure I do have Donkey on the quotes list. I'm pretty sure I do. Actually, let me check. Yep, I do have Donkey on the quotes list. To be fair, there are some pretty good ones on there. I can't wait to add to more of them. Oh, you added a quote on the archive. Thank you so much. I haven't seen it just yet, but I will definitely give it a look really quick. Did you remember to tell me what stream it was from and the time? If not, that is fine as long as it's a somewhat recent one. Because, like I said, I need to verify. Make sure it is indeed a tangy quote. And also I've got to a terrible memory I do, so any help in trying to find it again would be excellent. Lol, just look at the Discord. Oh, fine. Fine, I'll do it. I suppose I'm not busy. Ooh. My bad, I'm just prancing about. Tangy archive. Please go to the archive. I'm not gonna lie, that's I can't deny that one. That is pretty spot on. Oh dear. See, this is what I need, just constant quotes. Like, even my quotes, talking about quotes are good. Preferably I want a quote that has as many quotes in it as possible. Completely full of quotes. And so many quotes, the quote doesn't sound like a quote anymore. Quote doesn't even sound like a word anymore. Quote. Right, so we have a roof. Ha ha. Oh dear, I have a quota. Oh, that was actually genius. Thank you for that. I think if I'm ever having a down day, I just have to have a good look over some haha funny joke that you've made. It's a true spectacle beholding your work, I must say. I see my fatal misgiving here. It's all falling apart, and it's all my fault. There she blows. Yar. Yar har. There we are. Nice and easy. Yeah, I think we all laughed too hard at that. Yeah, just Agent 17 as a quote. Very good. Oh, oh, oh. I think I am on the wrong screen. Come on. Gotta get that good old backdrop. Can't beat that backdrop. And add in the last few stairs. Dear. I'm too busy trying to keep an eye on chat for the quotes. Can't miss out on those quotes. Well, I'm adding in the last bits. I've just noticed that this is a slightly wonky roof. Fix that there, and that should be nice and easy. Well, at least they're safe from the rain now. That's fun. Oh, what's this new quote? Yep, he has an amazingly glorious buttocks. That is, I think that's the newest quote, and certainly one of my favourites now. Oh, he does indeed. The Guardian Gate. Such a glorious behind. I don't often appreciate the buttocks of males. However, in this particular case, I shall make an exception and say the Guardian Gate's rear end is most satisfying. Haha. Yeah, please don't quote that. And when I say please don't, I mean please don't quote that. Ooh, 1, 2, 3. Nope, it's ruined. Game over. Needs more sag. Yes. Oh, for Christ's sake, come on. Get in there. Get in there. Ooh. Ooh. And there we are. Very easy. Oh, that quote is dedicated to Agent 17. No. And then you're bribing her with juice. Good stuff. Good old bribe never goes amiss. It should be below my my video at the moment, what I've changed them to. Although capitalist, I'm pretty sure that it was that. Maybe I forgot that I changed it. Perhaps I shall see. But no, just check under the video and all the commands should be there. I do update it fairly regularly, which is a positive. Right, so we have the roof going. Might as well just fill the rest in. This thing actually feels like progress when you're getting just a tiny bit done. I mean, there's so much to do in this world, and I can only do a tad part of it at any one time. Preferably, I won't keep placing stairs in odd places. There we go. Do the wonky roof. Nice and easy. So did we sort it out below chat? Did we find the lovely command? If not, I'm gonna have to go and look. I'm sure you can sort this out. I believe in you. Oh dear. Chat has went silent. Come on, guys. You can do it. I know it's late. I know it's well early here. How about this? If you can at least find the command, I'll play some lovely guitar for you live on stream. You can consider it a bribe. I would give you juice, but juice is off limits. Can't cause that juice inflation. There we are. Everyone is looking for quotes. Okay, maybe I'll just take a quick double time and actually have a little look for you then. See if I can't sort out this command issue. Shall I? Ah, that's the problem. It's not capitalist, it's capitalists with an S at the end, so that's the only reason it didn't work. So yeah, close enough though, close enough. If I check the Discord real quick, has anyone posted any new quotes? No. Gotta keep checking now. Oh, I've connected to one of the chats for some reason. Oh dear, no. Why have you clipped? What have you clipped? Preferably I want a quote that has as many quotes in it as possible. Completely full of quotes. Ah, I see. It is a clip containing a quote of many quotes. Good stuff. That's excellent. I would give you juice, but frankly I'm not that generous. Oh dear. I think we're getting to that point in the stream where things are calming down. Perhaps I shall retire to a BRB, and I shall soothe you away with general chat. There we go. The top 5 fat cats. So obviously Agent 17 is sitting quite high up on that board. Oh, that's looking like a very good board there. Oh, Sushi, you're getting high, very high. High as a kite. Or we could perhaps change game. I am considering it. But I don't know. It's a difficult decision. It's very early in the morning. What do we do? Everybody is juicing. You people are terrible. You're just throwing around juice. It's all for the ranks, isn't it? There's no loyalty involved. I should have seen this coming. People got too obsessed with the juice, they forgot to care about me. Ah. A little bit of both, maybe. Perhaps that is what we need. Oh. Well, there's a few things I've lost over the time. Unfortunately, it can be quite difficult trying to do things that have reverted themselves. For instance, that there was a particular building that I had built that has now disappeared into the ether. Certain pathways, it's all you don't know what to ask about. Honestly, that's perfectly fine. I think this point in the stream always comes where things get quieter, people are winding down. It's just the way of the world. I think the real question is, as a streamer, how should I treat this challenge? Do I simply continue streaming another game? Do I bite the bullet and simply say goodbye to my dearest faithful? I wonder. I'm starting to sound like Ollivander. I wonder. Oh, that is a absolutely brilliant clip, though. Nah, I think we're just gonna chill, guys. We're just gonna chill. So, you're happy to stick around. I'll keep answering questions if you you want to ask me them. Other than that, we'll just be dozing. I mean, of course you can ask me to play a game. That's more than fine. But I haven't got anything in mind. So if you want to pick a game, feel free. If not, we'll just cool down, have a lovely chat, get to know one another some more. Another episode of the talk show. Oh, good old quote 5. We'll love it. How long have you been dating your girlfriend? Oh, good question. That would be 5 years and 2 months. That sounds right. Ugh. Yeah, and you like the 2 months. Where did we meet? We went to the same high school, basically. I also noticed I've actually got to change that that follower goal. That is unfortunately a little laggy behind. But usually when it I like that question, Tiny Pickle. Perhaps we shall see. You know she might watch these videos. I'll just have to keep these ones secret. Ugh. Can't keep this bloody guitar in tune. Do you have any pets? Yes, I have 2 adorable little kittens. Their names are Mabel and Daisy. Two adorable little kittens. Oh dear. Oh yes, they can be seen in the pet photo section. You might have to scroll up just a little tad. Oh dear. So what are we all up to? Are we doing anything interesting, or are we all winding down for the evening? Huh. How would you describe yourself? How would I describe myself? Ooh, difficult question. I like it. Yeah, that is a pretty good soundboard. Honestly, you know, I enjoyed having the keyboard sounds and the controller sounds. The guitar sounds are just perfect. I don't know how I would honestly describe myself. Just I don't know. Just the general buzzwords: easygoing, you know, energetic when happy, calm and collected when grumpy, and I'm not often grumpy. Yeah, it's never gonna be in tune. Don't know why. Yeah. That's probably about as close as I can get. So I'm sitting in the dark watching my cat sleep, but you're excited about tomorrow. Ooh, I'm with Agent 17's wife here. What is happening tomorrow? So you're going to Shipshawana, Indiana. Never heard of place. messing about. It's going to take about 3 hours to get there. Oh dear. Well, come on, what are you doing once you're there? What is there to see in Shipshawana, Indiana? We need to know now. Yeah. Ooh. So you're not sure. You're riding down with some friends that invited you. And Agent 17's wife. I'm not sure if you're asking me that or Tiny Pickle there. You're saying if you could visit anywhere in the world, where would you go? I think that's a really, really tough question, simply because there's many places I would like to go. However, I do truly love Helsinki. Finland is the country for me of choice. That is a lovely place to be, honestly. If you ever find a little bit of money kicking about, do give it a good go. It's lovely there. Now that I think about it, we actually do have some desktop audio. So technically I could play you one of my pre-recorded songs, just as some background filler. I may continue to play some games, but I'm thinking it might be time to just leave off. Oh, you'd love to go to Egypt with your telescope. Now that does sound like a very nice holiday. The only problem with desktop audio is that I'm not sure whether I'm going to start playing something and just absolutely deafen you all. Payback? What is payback? Do elaborate, Agent 17. Not a Scooby, what you be saying, unfortunately. Yeah, it's deafen us as payback for deafening you. Okay, dokie. I will totally take you up on that and play one of my songs for you. This is a instrumental song, so no lovely vocals. I fear that if you were to hear my singing voice, you would implode from, I don't know, ecstasy, some shit like that. So hopefully this doesn't blow the speakers off your phones, your computers, your TVs that you may be listening from. So did we all enjoy that little song? And I do appreciate the donkey. That just was the cherry on top of the cake. perfect timing. Thank you very much, Agent 17's wife. Now that's probably a lot different from a lot of the other ones I do have. My genre of music is most certainly I don't know, some form of rock, I suppose. It's odd. But I suppose for now my musicianship shall have to be on hold until we and these are on YouTube. No, that particular song is not on YouTube. In fact, I don't think any of my songs are on YouTube. They're all kept personally. They're hidden gems waiting to be found, apparently. I mean, do say encore if you wish for another one. I'm more than happy to entertain. Other than that, we can go into another game if you'd wish. Just something to cool down with. If there's nothing particular, we may end the stream, but it's up to you. Oh, we want to hear more. Christ. Would you like to hear a song with vocals, or... I don't know if I've got any good songs that basically don't have vocals. Yeah, it's kind of weird. Oh god, you want vocals. Oh, okay, you have been warned though. They are very rocky and upbeat. I'm trying to think of which one to play actually. Could be interesting. Alright, so we'll go for this one. And this one I recorded about 6 years ago actually. This is a 6-year-old song. And it is very, very fast paced. So hopefully you like it. This is a world exclusive. Count yourself lucky that I'm so dedicated to you lucky, faithful viewers. And I even play you... can you play Cuphead after the encore? I don't see why not. I don't see why not. Let's yeah, I'm sure we can play that. Just give me a wee second to check a few things. Properties. Oh, they never work. Yeah, I can play Cuphead. I would say, however, I could probably do with a good sleep considering a few things I need to do tomorrow, or today, later today, right now even. But no, I shall give you an encore because you're my favourite people, and why wouldn't I play my songs for my favourite people? This one in particular is called Out of Reach.
cannot deliver what you want until see it's out of your reach. Maybe someday far away I'll find the reality.
So, how did we all find 14-year-old Tangy? I like to think it wasn't that bad. To be honest, I don't think I could sing any better than that nowadays. Honestly, maybe I should just stop streaming games. We'll just turn it into a DJ host. I'll just play random tracks. Well, thank you, Agent 17's wife. No, to be fair, there's probably a very, very small amount of people who have heard that song, so fair enough, you know. Even if it wasn't to your taste, you can definitely say that you are among a very exclusive group. But thinking on, we're probably gonna end the stream, probably call it for a night, and we'll be back later. Perhaps, I'd say so. But as always, I'm gotta give the usual thank you at the end of the stream. Honestly, it was so great having you along. It's always good to see you in chat, always good to talk to you, and this one was particularly fun, especially after such a long practically the talk show with Sushi. It was absolutely brilliant fun. I would stream for longer, but frankly I may collapse, so we'll probably leave it just for a little bit. But thank you so much, Agent 17's wife. Thank you so much, Agent 17, and thank you so much, Tiny Pickle. It was absolutely an honour to have you along tonight, and we'll see you next time.